Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So we had an absolutely crazy weekend. So Friday was our best sales day this year, and as long as I can remember in a long time, without like a big combo order. We've had big combo orders, which kind of like bring a day up to it, like the next level. All right, I just have to go right into it. We're just running low on time because we have to pack all this stuff. All right, the first thing is Command & Conquer Red Alert. This is the big box. This is just the box in very good condition. I have a little wrapping on it so it doesn't get like wet when it's in transition from like the storage unit and stuff like that. This also has the manual in here. Really cool PC game. I played a bunch of this when I was a kid. This went to a repeat buyer for $37.49. It's not my particular copy. I just happened to find it, so I was excited when I found it just because it was good nostalgia for me. All right, next up is this patch right here, 1990 Devil's Lake little patch. I think this maybe is Wisconsin or Illinois. We used to do really well with patches. We haven't done super as well recently. As long as you get like a specific place or something that people like a brand or something nostalgic, someone will either collect them or put them on like a jean jacket or something like that. This sold for $8. So it's pretty cool to have a sale for this. We haven't sourced that stuff in a bit, so that's probably why we haven't sold as much. All right, moving along, we have some more Song of Ice and Fire, the Game of Thrones cool mini or not board game. These are 3 of the dire wolves. I think these actually have particular names. I think one of them is supposed to be like Summer, and I forget what the other 2 names were, but when I listed them, I wasn't aware that these were character wolves. They're the Stark wolves, so I should have known. So these end up selling for $20.24. So yeah, really cool like miniature game. I never played it, but I knew some people that did play a little bit of it. All right, moving along, we have a combo order for 6 things. So it's going to be these 4 little Heroics and Ross figurines. This is a Prussian Jaegers right there. Little tiny metal miniatures. This is 7 Years' War Prussian Grenadier right there. We have a Prussia Hussars right there. Like they're really tiny. These are what, 1 out of 300 scale. And last thing is Prussian Horse Artillery. And then they also picked up World War II micro armor. These are some German tanks. These are Sherman German tanks. So I've sold the micro armor stuff out of the package. This was the first time I got something in a package. I got it at auction for $6 within this combo order. This particular one sold for $22.50. The whole order was $63.09. And the last thing they got was this cool little windmill. It's like some kind of like resin or something. So they're going to paint it up, and there's the spindles or whatever that go around on the windmill. They're going to use that as scenery for their game. So like I said, $63.09. All right, I'll move that over there, and then I has to grab some stuff for me. Moving along, we have something pretty interesting. This is going to be replacements category cards, and then the player cubes to keep track of points, and the timer. This is probably one of the last games I remember playing with like my family. We played a bunch of it. It got a little heated. I like this categories. Very cool game. But I think the problem is you want to play it a bunch in a row. And then when you play it a bunch in a row, you kind of like have your little letters memorized, like your answers to like green frog or something like that. I completely forget the full rules right now just because I have a lot going on to ship out. But yeah, playing this back to back, you kind of just start repeating the good answers people have said at the table. So I think it does have like a shelf life categories. Really cool game though, $6, really old one. All right. It's not like a modern, like something like this. All right, Chip Theory Games. This is a 66 of their little chips. These are used for health. I don't remember what the blue ones are for. I have too many bones. We also got the Elder Scrolls game, which I haven't read up yet. I'm going to read the rules and play that one soon. But yeah, these are like extra tokens. People always like these. It doesn't even have to be for their particular games. Sold for $13.99. All right, moving along, we have a little combo order, just 2 items. These are a bunch of Word. Word is like a miniature brand, and they make bases. They have these like circular spots to put little figures on, so they're going to be for specific sizes. There's big ones, small ones. I just made a lot because they also had the Word miniatures on the back. And then they also picked up these like mech soldiers right here. It's by a company. This metal company is Black Cat Bases. That's their name, but it is 2 little like mech figures with some bases. So they grabbed that. The combo order was for $18. All right, moving along, we have a board game. This one it doesn't have the board. It's from the 1900s, India right here. Unfortunately, I already have it packaged, but yeah, it's gonna have some like bits and pieces. I think it's by Milton. Yeah, Milton right there. I like grabbing these like 60s games or earlier than that. They do pretty well. This doesn't even have the board, but it's still sold for $10.12. It's just some replacement pieces for someone. All right, moving along, we have a really good sale right here. We got this. I got this from the person who sells this like anime and manga and stuff. This is Morgan right here. I have no idea what like anime she's for. It's kind of a little lewd, I guess, right there. Yeah, it's gonna be one of the. It's not completely new, but this is gonna be one of those figurines that someone puts on the shelf. A lot of people like this kind of stuff. This sold for $98.43. So this must be like a super popular anime or something that I'm unaware of. I think it says Darkstalkers on it right there. All right, moving along, we have a playmat. It's like a soft one. It's like a piece of fabric. So this was interesting. I got this at auction recently for $2. So it's going to be like a fabric cloth, but then it looks like it's going to, I listed it as a like city map for like wargaming or RPG. And I also did put like fabric cloth in it right there. So yeah, it's pretty long. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that someone was going to use this maybe for some like board gaming, but you never know what people buy stuff for. I've taken guesses on the channel before, and later on I'll see the feedback and it's for something completely random. All right, this sold to a repeat buyer for $12.37. All right, next up is going to be one of our original listings. I listed this at my parents' house when we were doing this super part-time, probably the first 3 or 4 months. It's a bunch of these Walt Disney World Dumbo books. These end up selling for $8.29. This one I remember, Anetta, do you remember this yard sale that we went to? We went to a yard sale. It was like literally like 30 seconds away from my parents' house. It was just this gentleman and his daughter. And then I think he just wanted to talk to a bunch of people because I was like buying a little bit of stuff. He didn't have too much. And then he just kept giving me stuff. And I told him like, hey, I'm going to sell this on eBay. He's like, oh, I don't care. And he just wanted to talk about random stuff. So he gave us like, I think it was like 50 or 100 of these particular hardcover Walt Disney books. Tried to give him money. He literally didn't care. He was just trying to, I don't know, talk to people and make space. It was a really interesting moment. I still remember it, $8.29 for that. It was free. He wouldn't let me give him money. All right, moving along, we have a lot of 6 Choose Your Own Adventure books right here. Yeah, this is the Famous 5 and You. I don't know anything about this one. It's just it happens to be the title right there. So there's going to be 6 of them. We got a bunch of these Choose Your Own Adventure books. I think a lot of them were also from the UK, which is probably why I've never seen them or heard of them. So it's really cool to get something not from America. This ended up selling for $37.49. So it's really good for a big lot of books. All right, moving along. We did pretty well with books today. I'm not too sure. Where is this one? This one is a Jurassic Park book right here. It just says Jurassic Park right there. It's like a paperback one. This ended up selling for $9. So yeah, when I get all this nerdy stuff, sometimes the people have books too that they don't care about. So that's pretty cool. Someone's going to appreciate that. Moving along, another Choose Your Own Adventure book. This is Nightmare the Dragon's Lair right here. It has some creases on the front, but it has a nice little art of this like gentleman knight. And then on the back, there's like a dragon right there that he might have to slay. So this is cool. It says based on the thrilling ITV series. So I'm not too sure about this one either. $11.24. We've done pretty well with those books during this during this episode and seeing us doing it in the past. Sorry, I'm like stuttering here. I have a lot of stuff I'm thinking about. All right, moving along, we have a lot of 86 Gundam War collectible card games. These are I separated them by factions. So I had to look it up. So this faction is the Neo Zeons. So this is the commons and uncommons and rares. I think I listed the like foils and super rare separately. This went to a repeat buyer for $44.99. That's pretty good for like a dead card game, or it might still be around. I'm not too sure. I think it's from 2005 for that one. All right, next up we have Looney Tunes. This is a puzzle, really cool one, 63-piece puzzle. Sylvester and Tweety Bird at like some kind of like circus thing. Nothing too fancy, $7. I do like that kind of stuff. I know it doesn't go for a lot unless if you get like a really unique or rare like puzzle. All right, moving along, we have one of these BattleTech maps. This is for the second set. This is the Desert Hills set. So I think there's like usually 4 of these particular maps. It's nothing too detailed. This is just going to be for BattleTech. As long as you have hexes and you know which way is north, which way is like south. That's all that they really care about for the rules. This individual one sold for $14.05. And then next up, we have a combo order. These are for chits, so like the little infantry for the board game Kota Bushido. Right here, we have the Japanese infantry. So this is one of the sheets. It's unpunched. You have to be careful because it kind of punch easily, which probably wouldn't be a big deal for the person. And then we have this one is what is this one? The vehicles right there, but there's like 4 pieces missing. I don't know if these are blank pieces. Sometimes they're blank or if they're like super important or not, but I did list that as is. So the 2 sold for $24.74. All right, next up is going to be a DVD Pearl Jam. Right here, live at the garden right here, DVD. This just reminds me of this one time we sold a DVD before we were doing the channel. We sold one where someone got like one of these live at whatever, at the concert, and then they ended up doing a return and they were upset because it didn't sound like how it sounded at the concert. That was literally the reason. And I was like, you're watching on a screen. Of course not. All right, this ended up selling for $8.99. Yeah, I mean, we have free returns on. It is what it is. But that didn't happen to that one, hopefully. But I just remember that was an interesting return. All right, moving on. We have a HeroClix, a super rare. This is going to be Hal Jordan right here. And it also has his little like boot extra item right here. They're called relics, I believe, or objects. I forget which one for this particular character. Super rares, they have the set symbol right there. It shows what set it's from, and then it's kind of like this like bronze gold color. Not all super rares are worth money. Some of them can be junky ones, just like any other collectible game, but they're still worth looking up. This ended up selling for $20 with the boot. It does not have his card, which shows the powers and abilities, but that's okay because you can like look them up. It's pretty easy to like just print it or just memorize it as well. It's kind of color coded on the little dial. All right, moving along, we have another DVD. This is one I haven't seen, but I do like Kevin Smith stuff. This is Jay. I know, Annetta doesn't like it. Nothing's wrong with me. Well, yeah, it's good. Like Clerks, you like Clerks. Clerks 2. I can't think of his other ones. He has some other good ones. Chasing Amy. Oh, you were thinking of Kevin James. Okay. All right. This is, yeah, I knew you liked some, and I know, of course, some of them you don't like. All right. So this is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I never saw the first one or the second one, or if I did, I don't remember. This ended up selling for $9. I just like how he always talked about how people have like good phones now that they can make better movies than the stuff he had when he made movies. I don't know. I just like the way he talks about some stuff sometimes. All right. He's really big into comics. I'm not knowledgeable about comics, so it's like a different category of nerd stuff. All right, move along. We have another lot of these 136 Gundam War collectible card game cards. These are Wing Gundam. They actually have like a long name for the faction. Hold on, let me pull it up. Gundam Seed is I think like the faction right here. I thought it was a longer name. This went to a repeat buyer for $56.24. Those Gundam cards have been doing really well. I got them at auction recently, and I got really lucky to get them. I didn't know anything about them, so this is the first time I've sold the Gundam collectible card game from 2005, and it's obviously doing well. All right, next up is going to be a Choose Your Own Adventure book, a real-life game book, The Bloody Rebellion right here. It says a role-playing game adventure in the French Revolution. It has some creases on the sides and the fronts. Small little paperback book. Repeat buyer for $14.62. And another Choose Your Own Adventure book. I don't know why they like a lot of these run the same bin too. So I was like, it's rare. I have a lot of bins at the storage unit. Oh yeah, I know. Real life game books, The Last Invasion of, what is that? 1066 right there. We have this like a guy with his dwarf with his battle axe. We have some swords. This is gonna be some kind of like fantasy-ish type of one. This ended up selling for $15.74. Also to repeat buyer. Actually, I just saw that they did a combo order, but they paid separately. So it's the person who got the last one as well. All right, sorry, I'm talking really fast. We have a lot to go through. All right, moving along, we have this right here, Plastic Craft Games. We have a combo order. There's a bunch of these. All of it was for $70. So what is this called? It's like Kuruwa. I'm probably saying this wrong. So it's going to be some terrain for like wargaming miniatures. It's going to be like 30 millimeters. So this is 2 walls right here. This one is going to be some kind of building. I can't say it. I don't want to say it wrong right there. It's all like Asian themed. Really cool like kits that you like build and then you use and they display them and then they give you cover and terrain. Really cool stuff. People like this. And then this is it's a set of 2 walls. This package was open, but the stuff's still in there. It just didn't have the plastic craft thing on top. And then we have this is like the actual gates. So it's cool. Someone's actually they bought a lot of our pieces. I had a couple more buildings, but I think they just wanted like to wall off in like 4 corners and have their building. And then they also got this as well. It's like some Egyptian themed. It almost was like, I don't know if it was 3D printed or not, or like made of resin, but really cool, like Egyptian themed pillars. There's like this like hallway or whatever that is. There's also like a little pyramid that you can build and glue together. Super cool stuff. I like it when people care about this kind of stuff. I never have the patience to upgrade like my board games like that, but I do like paint my miniatures for the board games when I can. It takes me a long time. All right, moving along. I don't know how to say this particular word on the top. Legend of the Overfiend right here. This is like a weird sexual, like demonic, like paperback trade novel. I don't know. This is like super known. This is like a 2nd or 3rd edition or something. Yeah, I randomly get all these like random trade paperbacks, comics and stuff. And this one happened to actually be more expensive. So yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, this one's like iconic. It sold for $39.37. That had some like damage and wear on it. So, and like I said, there was other additions to that. So like that was the first time I heard about that, I guess. All right. Moving along, we have this right here. This is going to be like a little diner set that you put together. This is probably for a train village, but you can also use it for RPG games. You can also use it for the wargaming, like how the person's going to make the Kuruwa or whatever it's called. Yeah, so this ended up selling for $8.99. I put that in needs repair. There was like one little bit that needs to be like glued on the edge here. Not a big deal. Hopefully they noticed that in my title and in my listing. $8.99 for that. Moving along for something that Aneta's mom got us for free. She knew someone that was throwing out a bunch of like household goods. So they know that she knows that we do eBay. So like I said, we get free stuff sometimes. This is actually a marble soap dispenser right there. Yeah, really actual marble. This ended up selling for $70. Really cool. Not my type of thing. But yeah, we have like a Black Cat soap dispenser. All right. Yeah, really cool sale. All right, moving along, we have, it was kind of hard for me to look up because there's like no like brand on that or something. So I just had to like see what other ones were selling. We have this right here, a Munchkin promo for a repeat buyer. This ended up selling for $12.66. VIP anniversary party. We've done pretty well with the promos. I had another one of this, so I relisted it. These are just going to be a little extra cards you add into your game. So yeah, a lot of people like that game. It's a really fun game if you've never played it before. I've played it a bunch, so I'm kind of like, what's the word, like past it, you know. I've figured out other similar games, and you also got to play with a lot of people who are taking the game less serious, but then also has some serious roles. All right, I'm just rambling. All right, next up is going to be Lord of the Rings Gandalf staff right here. Got a bunch of these Lord of the Rings cards. I actually did a video on it if you want to take a look at the video. But yeah, this is a rare. I listed all the rares and like decks separately, and then I did some combo orders, or some, not combo orders. I did some like lots of the commons and uncommons. So yeah, this ended up selling for $3.50. So that's pretty cool. I mean, Gandalf's one of the best Lord of the Rings characters. All right, moving along, we have this right here. When this sold, and I was like, "What did you get? And what are you selling?" I'm like, "No, this is Ares from Xena, the TV show. Even says Xena season 6." Her reaction was hilarious, guys, when this sold. She actually helped me get these. We got a bunch of these at the auction house that I talked about, where they were moving from one location to another. So they had to sell. Oh, sorry, show the abs. Yeah, this is just Ares, the God of War, right there for the Xena series. I actually watched a bunch of the Xena series when I was a kid. I actually liked it a lot. It was very campy. All right, that ended up selling for $12. We got a bunch of other ones. All the other ones had like Xena and Gabrielle, and then I forget the girl. I think she has like red hair. I forget her name. It's been a long time since I watched this stuff, but people do like Xena, the warrior princess. All right, moving along, we have this really cool. Do you remember where we got this? This is a like hand painted, well made. It's like an owl. You can use it as like some kind of vase, maybe store some pens, maybe some cooking utensils. $50 for this one. I think Aneta was the one that told me to mark this up because it's like really good quality. You can just tell when you like look at it in person and feel it. All right, next up is going to be an interesting item. This is Creepy Freaks right here. Creepy Freaks is a chess game by WizKids. They made these collectible little figures where it's trying to get kids into chess by having like, you know, creepy monsters and stuff. The starters. Well, yeah, well, it's creepy for kids. Yeah, they're just like ugly. There's like a goo monster right here. There's a little shark. But this is a CD that comes in the starter set. This one's interesting because this one is in German. So I thought that was pretty cool. It still didn't go for a lot. The Creepy Freak stuff is not too expensive. We sold like starter sets and boosters. I think we still have some listed. This ended up selling for $6.74. I just thought it was cool that it was in like German. All right, moving along, we have this right here. And that is not actually here right now. So she just went to the kitchen. She's probably gonna cringe because these are hard to ship. We have a bunch of these Song of Ice and Fire. Sorry if you can see them or not. I have to kind of keep them in here. These are the Starks. They're just Stark faction. They're the sworn swords right here. So just a bunch of swordsmen. They are well painted. Let me see if I can like show you guys one. Probably not because it's small, but I will try. I would say this is a really cool painting. They also put like rocks and terrain on the bottom of the base. Really cool figures. All right, they also had their magnetized, so they stick to the bottom of this base. This ended up selling for $25. So that's similar to the Stark Wolves I sold. So people are enjoying this game, which is really cool. I'm glad I bid on that auction and got it because I just know people that have played it. I haven't played it myself or sold it. All right, moving along. We have a set of 3 more Choose Your Own Adventure books in the series. Twisted Journey. It looks like more of like a kid cartoon comic kind of Choose Your Own Adventure. These only sold for $10. But yeah, those Choose Your Own Adventure books have been doing really well. And more books again. We have Star Trek. I get a lot of these Star Trek books for cheap. I know they're not like super crazy. I do look them up to make sure that individuals aren't like worth listing alone. This is a lot of 7 of them, just various paperback ones. This ended up selling to a repeat buyer for $13.50. So that's pretty cool. I know people love Star Trek. It's just like the books. I get them a lot and I just make big lots. Might as well because I get them cheap. All right. And then last up for the day right here, we have more of these. And that is cringing. She doesn't like shipping these because they can break easily. Song of Ice and Fire. These are House Bolton. I think those are the people with, I forget his name. They're like the people that torture and stuff, I think. I'm pretty sure. All right. So these are Cavalry right here. These are for the same game as the Starks. And the other ones, these end up selling for $22.49. All right. That's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope everyone had a good weekend and has a good week coming up.